Nightly News with Perth's #1 news team.
Tonight, terrorist targets. Bomb blasts put the US on worldwide alert. Flood crisis, dozens rescued, hundreds evacuated. And 16-month sideline, Maney's back in action. Hello and welcome to 7 Nightly News across WA. Also tonight, a GST bonus, the first tax reforms revealed. And with tonight's sport, Basil Zemplis is at Subi. Baz.
Paula, more on Maney's successful comeback shortly. A wet welcome for the Eagles in Sydney and all the news from the Dockers rooms when we come back live to Subiaco Oval. Paula?
First tonight, United States security forces around the world are on full-scale alert after 2 of their embassies became targets for terrorists. Car bombs exploded minutes apart outside the US embassies in Kenya and Tanzania, killing at least 80 people and injuring up to 1,700.
2 unexpected targets attacked without warning. Just after morning rush hour, a car bomb brought down an office building beside the American Embassy in Nairobi.
This bomb was targeted to destroy and to kill and maim.
Hundreds were trapped inside the tangle of concrete and steel. Others were shredded by flying glass.
There are lots of people who are alive who are trapped between the concrete.
Just minutes later, hundreds of kilometres away in Tanzania, another deadly blast. The target, the US Embassy in Dar es Salaam. A smaller explosion than in Kenya, but it destroyed nearly 2/3 of the embassy.
Go back.
US officials believe the bombings have all the hallmarks of a Middle East terrorist attack.
We will use all the means at our disposal to bring those responsible to justice, no matter what or how long it takes.
Tonight in East Africa, 2 nations are in shock. They have no idea why this happened or why they were involved. In the United States, John Bors, 7 Nightly News.
Threats have been made against the teenager at the centre of the tragic death of Police Constable Peter Ball. The youth suffered a broken jaw in the same accident that killed Constable Ball, who was chasing him for allegedly stealing a car.
Constable Peter Ball was grappling with a 13-year-old boy when they were both hit by a passing car. Constable Ball's injuries were so severe, he died in hospital 5 hours later.
29 years of age, 3 years in the job, 4 years of marriage, lovely wife and a lovely little child. Everything to look forward to in his life, and that's been cut short.
The youth, an alleged car thief, is in Princess Margaret Hospital with a broken jaw. Last night, 7 Nightly News understands someone rang the hospital and threatened to kill him. Hospital staff would only confirm a malicious call was made, but it was enough of a worry to notify police.
It's hard to say sorry when something happens like that, you know, because the person doesn't know you.
36 hours after the tragedy, it's hitting home just how much of a loss Peter Ball's death is.
There's a lot of crying, a lot of tears and a lot of heartache going on.
Barry May says the constable's colleagues are taking it especially hard.
They were very, very upset. They were just walking around the station almost aimlessly. You know, one of them has happened, one has been killed. It could have been them, and I guess they take that risk every time they go out in the car.
A fund has been established for Constable Ball's wife and baby daughter. Donations can be made at any Bankwest branch. Mara Pritchard, 7 Nightly News.
A 4-year-old boy is in Princess Margaret Hospital with minor stab wounds after a siege in Perth's southern suburbs. Under police escort, the child was rushed to hospital. His mother arrested and treated for self-inflicted wounds. Police say the woman threatened to harm her child before police rushed this Kenwick house, ending the siege. Hundreds of people have been forced from their homes as devastating floods swamp Bathurst in New South Wales. A natural disaster has been declared and there have been some dramatic rescues from the rising floodwaters.
Shaking with fear, the woman and her 2 daughters spent 90 minutes huddled on the roof of their car before help arrived. The youngest girl couldn't swim. She was first saved.
Oh, we want you to jump and hold your breath. We'll get you to here. Yeah, you jump as hard as you can. Ready? Go.
Her sister followed.
Now, 2, 3.
Then Mum took the dive. The family was shaken but unharmed. It was a similar story for a family trapped for 14 hours in their car at Kangaroo Valley overnight. Winched across a raging creek, a 7-year-old boy.
You right now? Yes. You nice and warm?
Yes. He was followed by his sisters.
Are you cold? They'll warm you up in a minute.
The ordeal left Dad in tears, but the family finally found warmth and escaped unscathed. But the biggest threat in New South Wales, major flooding in Bathurst, the central western city suffering its worst flooding in 175 years. Thousands of evacuees have crowded into local high schools as 14 of the state's rivers come close to breaking point.
Houses that haven't been flooded before are flooding this time. People that weren't evacuated in the 86 flood have been evacuated.
Emma Power, 7 Nightly News.
And deadly storms have lashed Sydney for the third day, damaging homes and claiming the life of a man. The man had stopped on a road to avoid a fallen tree. A truck driver trying to miss the same hazard crashed into both. Throughout Sydney, homes have been damaged. 10,000 residents are without electricity, but the worst of the storms are now over. Defence Minister Ian McLaughlin has confirmed he's quitting politics at the next federal election. One Nation has seized on the resignation, claiming growing support for One Nation has reduced Mr McLaughlin's chances of retaining his South Australian seat.
Since coming to power, the Howard government has lost 6 ministers, the latest Defence Minister Ian McLaughlin. Mr McLaughlin, who entered Parliament in 1990, says he's proud of Australia's defence achievements, especially the recent aid effort in Papua New Guinea.
So quick, on the job, so well organised.
He's a very solid minister. I'm sorry he's retiring.
But Pauline Hanson's One Nation party claims its surging popularity in his South Australian electorate of Barker drove the minister from his seat.
One Nation has come on the scene, and I think he realises he can't hold his seat now.
But Mr McLaughlin's office has dismissed those threats, saying the Defence Minister doesn't walk away from a fight. It says Barker will remain a safe Liberal seat and One Nation can't win on preferences.
I'm not worried about them, and apart from that, I leave my seat 20 points in front.
In Canberra, Elise Mooney, 7 Nightly News.
Good news for Australian exporters tonight. All exports will be GST free. The confirmation came at the state's National Party's conference underway in WA's wheatbelt town of Hyden. Jeff Parry's there. Jeff.
Paula, with Labor and One Nation both opposed to a GST, selling the thing will be a tall order. Tim Fischer fired an opening shot promising to lift the tax burden on exporters. Tim Fischer calls it his Hyden Declaration.
Every container and every tonne of export goods will leave Australia GST free.
In the central wheatbelt town of Hyden at a National Party conference, the Deputy Prime Minister unveiled a central plank of GST policy.
This is a massive tilt of the unlevel playing field back in favour of our exporters. Long overdue. It is good, big picture policy with practical local outcome.
The proposal will also see the 22% wholesales tax come off export goods. The full GST package will be revealed next Thursday. Meanwhile, the National Party state leader and our Deputy Premier, Hendy Cowan, wants to put the brakes on the pace of change. In a defensive move against the growing popularity of One Nation, Mr Cowan has opposed the sale of any more than 49% of Telstra.
Let's not move too fast. Let's slow down a little bit. Let's see if we can get in place those things that we know we want and see if they can be achieved.
Jeff Parry, 7 Nightly News.
A phone-in swamped by complaints about Australia's new job agency and outrage as Lord Mountbatten's killer is freed. After 19 years, Thomas McMahon walks out of prison. And a bad break for a little battler, Jandamara, injured in a car accident.
Who said working had to be dull?
Hey, cool. Is it sexual harassment or sexual harassment?
Hey, that's sexual harassment!
Thank you.
No, thank you.
I'm just trying to make a name for myself. Hey, kiss ass!
Fred Savage is working Sunday at 8 on 7.
New Finish Double Action Dishwasher Tablets handle even the toughest jobs.
Suck on you.
The blue layer penetrates baked on food, so the white layer can gently clean to a brilliant shine. First time, every time.
Ever thought how much fun you'd have if someone else helped you pay your bills? Well, that's what the Commonwealth Bank does with BPay. You know where you're here, your Commonwealth Bank is here, and you want to pay a bill here? First, call the Commonwealth Bank on 13221 for your password, then just follow the prompts. A friendly voice helps you through every step, from choosing your account to keying in the biller code. Capresto, you're done. The amount paid is confirmed, and you can request a receipt number. Oh, the tennis set. And for added peace of mind, it's on your bank statement. Oh, not now, dear. No checks, no queues, no hassles. That's BPay at the Commonwealth Bank. Spend less time paying bills, more time enjoying yourself. That makes sense to me.
Winter. It can get a little boring. Why not get down to Bunnings for some winter bright ideas? 9.6 litre plastic bucket, only 87 cents. 4 litre Dulux wash and wear 101, just 47.86. 13-piece drill bit set, 14.95. 400 gram CRC, a bargain at 5.65. Torch with 2 batteries, 9.88. And 25 litre green grub potting mix, 2.50.
Bunnings!
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
CR-V, the new 4-wheel drive from Honda. It'll help you get more out of life.
Now, in the interest of saving lives on our roads, the WA Police, 94.5 and 790 News present tomorrow's official speed camera locations. Please slow down and save lives. And tune in for more here on 7 every night and every morning on 94.5.
Bunbury Police have recovered a stash of weapons involved in a day-long siege in the southwestern city this week. The 6 shotguns had been stolen during a ram raid which sparked a major police operation and manhunt around Bunbury's port. 2 men were arrested, the stolen weapons found hidden in a rock crevice. The federal government's new jobs network is under fire tonight from job seekers and employers who claim red tape is stopping people finding jobs. In a special phone-in today, scores of complaints were received just 3 months after the closure of the CES.
Do you think the jobs network will help reduce unemployment in Australia?
According to Labor's John Kabelki, our new employment system just isn't working. To prove his point, he invited the public to complain today. About 100 people did.
They are having to go to providers that are all over the place, and this is creating an additional problem for them, both in time and in the cost of travel.
38-year-old James Williams, who's been unemployed for over a year, says the jobs network is more bureaucratic than the CES it replaced.
You've got to do this, do that, do that. To me, it's just a joke. I just want a job.
And John Kabelki says the system is so confusing, some employers are turning their backs on it.
They found it so useless, they just gave up and they put a sign up outside their shop asking people to come in because they have a job vacancy.
But a spokesman for Federal Employment Minister David Kemp says despite teething problems, the jobs network has already outperformed the CES with higher job vacancies and placements. Official figures are yet to be released. Margaret Baldock, 7 Nightly News.
Jandamara O'Shane, the boy who captured Australian hearts after being doused in petrol in a schoolyard, is back in hospital. This time he's got a broken leg after being hit by a car.
Jandamara O'Shane's life was returning to normal, now another setback, following a freak traffic accident which has left him with a broken leg.
He did a bit of a sprint straight across and bang straight into the side of the car that was coming from the other direction.
The Burns boy is no stranger to hospitals. Now he's back, having already spent months undergoing skin grafts after being set alight by a crazed man in a Cairns schoolyard.
He's had a hard time, the little fella. He's a bad type of injury. Yeah, I mean, it's a miracle that he wasn't more seriously injured.
Jandamara's latest brush with death has taken an emotional toll on his family.
But yeah, I just really couldn't. I really thought, it was going to be a whole lot worse.
But there's a happy ending, with Jandamara expected to be home by next weekend to celebrate his 8th birthday. In Cairns, Murray McCloskey, 7 Nightly News.
In our World Watch tonight, outrage in Britain over the release of a convicted IRA bomber. The man detonated the bomb which killed Lord Louis Mountbatten in 1979. Known as Prince Charles' favourite uncle, Lord Mountbatten was killed with 3 others in a bomb blast on his boat off Southern Ireland. Thomas McMahon served 19 years for the crime. He's been released under the terms of Northern Ireland's new peace agreement. Controversial Irish swimmer Michelle de Bruyn has spoken out about a 4-year ban which effectively ends her swimming career.
I will prove my innocence at the end of the day in this matter.
FINA has banned de Bruyn, formerly Michelle Smith, for allegedly interfering with a drug sample. The ban wipes her out of the Sydney Olympics.
I unfortunately know now in my heart and soul that a total vindication in this case will not retract the damage that has been done to me by FINA in respect of an offence.
Grey skies over southern England are filled with colour this weekend as hot air balloonists compete in Europe's biggest balloon festival. Enthusiasts from all over the world are taking part. Sport now, and let's hope the Dockers fly high tonight. Here's Basil at Subi.
Well, they can't make the 8, but they can make life very difficult for the team you see behind me, Essendon. More on that in just a moment. Plus, Chris Mainwaring back in business and what the Eagles have got planned in Sydney when we come back live to Subi for Saturday night footy.
He's run a long, long way.
Tonight at 8:30, don't miss a minute of the action. Fremantle go head-to-head with Essendon at Subi Oval. Then on Sunday at 10:40, the Eagles battle it out for 4th place when they take on Sydney, live from the SCG.
Right now at Budget, just to make you even more inclined. Our prices are going down fast. Budget. Go your own way.
Come discover what it takes to reflect a better lifestyle. Sanctuary Waters, Canning Vale.
This is the nicest looking house in the street.
When you visit a Plunkett home, you'll find a lounge with high ceilings,
Really spacious.
big bedrooms with walk-in robes,
It's my favourite. At last I've got somewhere to hang up my clothes. It's huge. And so is your ensuite.
This is my bedroom. It's got lots of room.
large family-sized kitchen,
Everything.
and space for outdoor living.
Plunkett build homes. They really understand how we want to live. We should be looking at a Plunkett.
Diana, the untold story. A new 3-part colour magazine serial by one of her closest friends. Starts this week in the Sunday Times.
At Budget, we're renting trucks at really low rates. In fact, you won't get a lower hire. Budget. Go your own way.
From the creator of Basic Instinct, this is Rage, comes a sizzling movie premiere. When a millionaire is murdered, there's one woman
They called her Jade.
everyone is dying to meet.
Did the tape turn you on?
David Caruso.
And she lied to us.
Jade, Sunday on 7.
Tonight's Sports Report is presented by Budget.
Welcome back to Subiaco Oval. Saturday night footy. Fremantle playing for pride against Essendon, playing for a spot in the top 8, maybe the top 4. Adrian Barrich, our boundary rider, is with me. Barra, how do you see tonight's game?
Well, Baz, I'd like to tip the Dockers, I really would, but I don't think I can, especially now because a late exclusion from the team. Dale Kickett has been pulled out at the last moment. Quinton Leach back into the team. Last week, Kickett played with pain-killing injections in his back. This week, he's decided that it's not worth it. He is out of the team, so a big, big blow, Baz.
I guess there's two ways we could look at it from Essendon's point of view. A great run, maybe they're due to drop one, or maybe they're just in fantastic form.
Well, the Bombers think they can actually make the top four, believe it or not, and the way the results went today, they can make the top four, so all Bombers fans a big chance tonight. Baz, and I've got to say something about the crowd tonight. I know last time we were here you bagged the crowd.
You bagged it.
but tonight I reckon 25 or 26,000, a great turnout by Dockers fans as they get towards the end of the year that isn't going to go past the end of August.
Just before you go, a lot of pressure tonight on James Hird.
There's no doubt. I spoke to Hirdy in the rooms before, and he's very conscious of his media ban that he imposed on himself during the week. He wants to perform well. He's spoken to the captain of the Australian cricket team, Mark Taylor, for some tips. Don't know what that would have been like, Baz, but we'll soon see. Will he last the game? That's the big question.
Adrian, we're looking forward to it. We'll see it on 7 Sport tonight at 8:30. Thanks, mate. Well, speaking of people that are back, he's back and he hasn't lost it. We're talking, of course, from Lathlane Park today of Chris Mainwaring, who got through his first game since April last year. Great news, that indeed. And as Lachlan Reid reports, Mainey got a kick and he didn't get injured.
His first touch back in football. Despite these boos, everyone was happy to see Chris Mainwaring on the field. It's been 16 months and today it was Mainey's day. Back in the East Fremantle colours, Mainey still had that fire in the belly and a lot of padding on that leg. He changed between the wing and the forward pocket in his return game. He even booted a goal. Mainey wasn't the best on the ground, but he got plenty of the ball in the Sharks' win over Perth. West Coast would no doubt be happy. And what are the Eagles up to at training earlier today? Ashley McIntosh watched from the sidelines, while Guy McKenna trained for only half the session. West Coast took both emergencies, Rowan Jones and Neil Marshall, with them to Sydney. The stakes are high, and the Eagles seem to be covering all bases.
For us to hang in there and have a go at it, we've got to win this match.
Sydney's rain over the past 48 hours is certain to even up tomorrow's clash.
It's their home ground, but we don't go too bad in the wet, so I mean, it's just, if it's going to be pretty heavy underfoot and very wet, it's just going to be a hard slog either way.
The game will be shown live on 7 at 10:40 tomorrow morning. Lachlan Reid, 7 Nightly News.
Geelong have broken their 6-game losing streak with a 1-point win over the Western Bulldogs. The Cats roared home in the last quarter. In his 4th senior game, Justin Wood kicked 4 goals for Geelong. Now, despite the shock loss, the Bulldogs stay on top of the ladder.
Staring at 7 straight losses, Hocking's fancy footwork got the Cats off to a great start in a first term played at half pace. Turnovers dominated the early part of the second quarter before the game ignited with 12 quick goals. Has kicked the goal. The Bulldogs led at half-time and three-quarter time, but the Cats kicked 5 goals to 3 in the final term. Goals from Riccardi and Burns giving Geelong a thrilling 1-point victory. Earlier in the day, Tony Liberatore completed an amazing 13-week recovery from knee surgery, surviving half of the reserves match. Libba played off a half-forward flank before moving onto the ball, and although he deliberately avoided physical contact, he's hoping for a round 21 return to the senior ranks.
And I love playing footy, and that's the bottom line. Footy's my life.
There were plenty of anxious faces in the crowd watching Tony's return, which is considered by many medical experts to be dangerously early. And forgotten Carlton defender Ange Christou made a surprise appearance in the Blues report. His first game since early last year, when a debilitating back injury threatened his career. David Loudon, 7 Nightly News.
There were 2 other games in Melbourne today. The winners Hawthorn and Melbourne. At the MCG, the Demons kept their finals hopes alive with a 49-point win, while at Waverley, one of the upsets of the season, bottom side Hawthorn stunned the Saints by 59 points.
Hawthorn, last on the ladder, totally outclassed the Saints, who had everything to play for, second spot and the double chance in the finals. The Hawks were a goal down at quarter time, but then they piled on 10 in the next 2 quarters, which included 6 in a row.
And the Hawks have got 2 in a minute.
Hawthorn led by 10 goals at the last change, and they maintained that margin in the final quarter to romp home by 59 points. Aaron Lord finished with 6 for the Hawks. And the Carlton revival came to a screeching halt at the MCG, with Melbourne thrashing the Blues by 49 points. There was only 10 points in it at half-time, but the D's combination of pace and key position winners saw them boot 7 goals in the third quarter while keeping the Blues goalless. Schwartz was back to his best, bagging 6, and former captain Gary Lyon kicked 5. And last night at the Gabba, North Melbourne beat the Brisbane Lions by 27 points. The Roos paid a high price with Archer, Pike and Allison all injured, and they'll miss next week's match against the Dockers. David Loudon, 7 Nightly News.
4 games in West Star footy today. Subiaco defeated East Perth by 28 points in a close one. Swans beat South by 3 points. East Fremantle were 57-point winners over Perth in Maney's comeback game, and West Perth 70-point winners over Peel Thunder. Pat Rafter is through to the semi-finals of the Canadian Open after defeating Jonas Borkman in straight sets. Rafter blasted past the Swede just hours after defeating Mark Philippoussis in their rain-delayed third-round match. And Kieran Perkins has set the second fastest time in the world over 800 metres today in a fascinating battle with Ian Thorpe in Sydney. Thorpe beat Perkins in the 400, but in the 800, a totally different story.
In the 400 metres freestyle, Ian Thorpe upstaged his more experienced opponent, but in the 800 the reply was stunning and powerful. Perkins clocking 7 minutes 42.85 seconds. Thorpe did a personal best to finish second, Grant Hackett missing through injury. Queensland stars Sam Riley and Susie O'Neill also in scintillating form. At Homebush athletic trials for the Commonwealth Games, the weather disrupting the opening day's program, hammer thrower Rendell Stewart secured his place in our team. Dean Capobianco finished second in his heat of the 400. He's in the final.
I'd like to be in a lot better shape than I am now. I think all 3 of my events, 100, 200 and 400, are solid, you know, but without being sensational.
Farron Hotham, 7 Nightly News.
And just before I go, congratulations to Corrine Senior High School, who beat Aquinas in the final of the Channel 7 Cup. The Dockers and Essendon on 7 tonight at 8:30. Paula?
Thanks, Basil. Tomorrow's shaping up to take away the winter chill. And tonight's Lotto draw might also help, coming up live and exclusive.
Are you busy and haven't had time to get new tyres, wheels and batteries? Well, relax, because now you can get your tyres, wheels and batteries fitted on Sundays until 4 p.m. in the afternoon at the Bob Jane Mega T-Mart, Scarborough Beach Road, Osborne Park.
Around here, golden eggs are everybody's favourite. My Kev has to watch his diet. Luckily for him, golden eggs are very low in fat.
Low fat? Then how come they taste so good?
Sharon's a growing girl. She needs lots of protein, iron and vitamins.
Exactly.
My Craig, who needs all the energy he can get, loves them too.
Hi, Mum.
Whereas I love them because they love them so much.
Golden eggs, WA's favourite.
Nice to have you with us. And you know my business associate, Terry? Yeah, that'll do, lads, that'll do. Come on, let's get down to business. Leave this to me, sweetheart. Just listen and learn.
Let's get down to business sale. Hoover 7.5 kilo auto washer, $899, save $50 with bonus towels, bonus travel bag and a chance to win a trip for 2 to Fiji.
Hi, watashi de dekimasu.
Just what I always say.
Archie Martin will look after you.
For soft white bread that's high in fibre, Wonder White's a winner. Now you can be a winner with Wonder White, because we're giving away $100,000 cash in 4 weekly draws of $25,000. To enter, send in 2 tokens from specially marked packs, then see if you've won by watching the Better Homes and Gardens show. Plus, 1,000 winning packs have instant win Freedom Furniture vouchers inside. So enter now. There's $100,000 cash to be won in the Wonder White Winners promotion.
Are you busy and haven't had time to get new tyres, wheels and batteries? Well, relax, because now you can get your tyres, wheels and batteries fitted on Sundays until 4 p.m. in the afternoon at the Bob Jane Mega T-Mart, Scarborough Beach Road, Osborne Park.
Before you see the effects of deep impact, see the real thing. Be prepared as tidal waves hit your screen. Next on The World Around Us.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by the Bob Jane Mega T-Mart.
A delightful day in Perth today. Hope you are out and about enough to enjoy it. Tomorrow will be similar, just a little more cloud. Today we had a low of 13.2 recorded at 6:15 this morning. Our high, 22 degrees, recorded at 1:45 this afternoon. At the moment in Perth, 17.2 degrees, the relative humidity 69% and the wind southerly at 5 kilometres an hour. On the satellite, a high-pressure ridge lying across the central part of the state is the reason for our sun today. A slow-moving front is headed for the coast. Tomorrow will be generally fine but cloudy. For boaties, during Beta Mandurah, wind shifting northeast 10 to 15 knots overnight, tending northwesterly to westerly 10 to 15 knots in the afternoon. Seas 0.8 of a metre, the swell 3 metres and easing. Tomorrow in Perth, fine and partly cloudy, 22 the high, 7 tonight, and the week ahead, fine. Monday, 22. Tuesday, the effect of that front we spoke of earlier will bring showers and 18. Wednesday, more showers and 18. Time now to cross your fingers as we cross live to Melbourne for the Lotto. Good luck.
Here to draw tonight's, of course, lucky numbers with Saturday Lotto.
Well, Marianne, how lucky can you be? A Melbourne man won more than $300,000 in Saturday Lotto 7 years ago. Now, last week, he won more than $36,000 with 5 friends.
So he won twice.
Won twice.
Lucky man.
Yes.
And a 78-year-old Mount Gravatt woman will enjoy spoiling her family after her $5.30 quick pick entry won $836,000.
A quick pick. Won all that. Ah, and 2 couples from South Australia who are aged in their 30s are the final winners in last week's Saturday Lotto. The couples have been playing a syndicate for about 12 months. Initially, there were 4 couples and 2 couples dropped out recently.
Oh, they won't be happy. Now for tonight's Super 66 numbers. Congratulations to all the winners last week.
Yes.
Maybe your turn tonight.
A quick pick.
Yes, often it's a quick pick entry. Worth getting one.
Also.
We start off with number 4, followed by 6, then we have 9, 4, 8, and the last one there is number 1 in Super 66.
And now for Saturday Lotto, and don't forget, Saturday the 22nd of August, Saturday Lotto is having a $12 million super draw.
What date was that?
The 22nd of August.
Okay, total prize pool $9,716,771.68.
Well done. First number down is number 13. Division 1, $2,545,794.19.
And we have number 30 there in draw 1779.
Our government officials are watching the draw.
Looking very smart, team.
So.
Number 11 in there.
Last week's Saturday Lotto had 3 Division 1 winners who shared in $2.5 million. All this money, Marianne.
Number 25.
We had 73 Division 2 winners who shared in just over $640,000.
Number 39.
And hello to Graham and Chris in Adelaide. Crystal, their little daughter, is being christened tomorrow.
Oh, well done. Have
The
a
Blums.
nice day.
Yes.
Number 18. There's the 6 winning numbers, and the 2 supplementaries, of course, are to come in tonight's draw. Number 42.
So 13, 30, 11, 25, 39 and 18 are the big 6. Supplementaries 42 and 4. Don't forget to purchase a ticket Saturday Lotto the 22nd of August for the big super draw.
We'll see you next week, meanwhile, from Marianne Belstra and Gavin Wood.
Good night.
Every time you play Lotto, scratch and win, and soccer pools, Western Australia wins in so many ways. So far to the tune of over $1 billion. From them to you, thanks a billion.
That's all from the 7 Nightly News team. I'll be back with news updates throughout the evening. We leave you with pictures from Jandakot Airport, where they're up and away for the Royal Flying Doctor Service's Outback Air Race. Good night.